Alright folks, so the tutorial today is going to be an overview of the IG app. We're just going to go through the features and what's available and just explain some of them. It's going to be very brief, and then we'll dive into the detail in following tutorials wherever the most interest lies and take it from there. So let's get into it. If we start at the top of the top bar, we're going to first start off with the settings, which is the little gear icon you see in the top left, and then we're going to move across. So once you open that up, you can see your club. You can add an additional club if you need to. You can put your email address and your mobile in there. If it's not already in there, if you put it in there, we'll update the website, which is really good. So we would advise, if you possibly can, please put your email address in. That helps you if you need to contact other members within the club, so it's very useful. So you can input them in there, and then it'll be stored both on the member site as well as on the app, which is really good. So that's quite useful. The rest is push notifications. If we go through them very briefly, so general notifications is just general things that go out. Finalize competitions, useful if you've been in a competition and think you're going to win. Account transactions is very useful because that allows you that if the till doesn't go through for whatever reason, you will get a notification that it's come through, and if you don't get one within 5 minutes, you can go and ask, because sometimes the till doesn't always go through. So that's a really useful one. Course status updates in the morning if you're not going to play. Match and knockup updates also, same kind of thing. Add web messages, and the news articles at the bottom is not used as much at the moment. Once again, it's probably because the app's not in much usage, but Simon and them don't tend to use that. But the competition bookings, once again, automated, will come through, so it's all very good stuff. And these will just pop up as any other type of little pop-up on your mobile phone and tell you what's happening. So it can get annoying if there are too many, but I don't tend to find that there are many, so it doesn't really bother, and it's really useful information mostly. So I don't mind that so much. The bottom, you can choose different schemes. I've gone for the dark scheme. We'll just quickly click on the light scheme, and you can see what that looks like. So just give it a second. So we pop across. That's what the light screen looks like, but I prefer the dark one, so entirely up to you. Personal choice, really. And all the way at the bottom, you got all the usual bump terms of use, privacy policy that none of us actually read, but hey ho, it's always on all these things. So that's the settings tab. You can get out of it with a little cross on the top right. The next one along, if we hit that, that's the club directory, very useful. And if you search for someone in here, not only does it give you their name, which is very useful. We'll search on Mr. Corsby here. You will also see their handicap, and you'll be able to message them. So that's quite useful if you've got a match against someone and you want to go and contact them, and you can see what their handicap is, which is nice. Handicaps, it's kind of the same thing, but you're searching for handicaps this time rather than looking for their name. Not quite sure, but there we go. Next one along is the club diary. During the week, you will see everything coming up, and you can go month by month. You can see the roll-ups, which is nice, and you can see all the tournaments. So it's just a shortened version of the club diary that's kept up to date, so you can see what's coming in that week. And then the last one along the top area is the conversations or messages, and you can message someone. Most of us tend to use WhatsApp, so I could message John on there, but I don't tend to. We all use WhatsApp groups, so it's not functionality we already use within this application at the moment. Now, going down from the top, handicap record, really important. Oh, it's a good thing to note that if you drag down on the app, it'll update it. So if you're putting a score in, or you want to see if your transaction's gone through in your clubhouse balance, you drag down or refresh from the server, which is good. The handicap record, this is your handicap record. Very nice piece of information. Gives you your index, and it gives you your low handicap index. It also gives you your CDH ID for England Golf Union, which is nice, and it gives you all your rounds. You will notice that there are yellow rounds and there are green rounds. The yellow rounds are the rounds that are counting towards your current index. So if you're wondering why you are where you currently are, you'll see it in there. You'll also see I've put a couple of general play ones in, and we'll talk about that later. But that is really good in terms of being able to see which of the rounds that are actually counting against your current handicap index. On the rounds, as you can say, it'll take you through. If you click on any of these, it'll take you through to the scorecard, which we will do in a second. As you can see there, you see your full scorecard. So if you wanted to review your scorecard, you could go and do that. Obviously. And the last thing on there is a calculator, which will tell you run Flackwell Heath, because obviously it's set up for that. It will tell you exactly what your playing handicap is, but it has a calculator. So you could put the slope rating in of the course you're going to, if it's not Flackwell, and you could go and put in that slope rating. And in this example, we'll put a slope rating of, let's go with 124, and it will tell you that your course handicap is 21. So that's quite useful. Now, very importantly, on the top right, you'll see looks like a little scorecard. Now, it's supposed to represent a little scorecard, but it's not quite clear. That is where you go to put a general play score in, and you have to register. You do need to be within 4 miles of the golf club to do that. So if you live in Flackwell, great. And they'll register you around it and allow you to put a general play scoring card in. It's not the most obvious place to find it, but that's where it is. And we'll go into more depth in that in another one. Competitions. Nice, you can go and look at who you're playing, where you're playing. In this case, not who we're playing, but the actual competition, who you're playing with. And you will see a begin scoring on the actual day when you go in, so you could score through the app. We'll do a separate video on that. You look at upcoming ones, you can join some of them, and you can look at the results. So you can see, like for the professionals tournament, who won, who did what, and what's going on there. So that's another place to look. Matches, this one I really like, because you can go and have a look who you're playing, and then it'll also tell you what your differences is. So you can see Simon will be overjoyed. He has to give me 10 shots. So that gives it to you there, and you can message the group if you wanted, if you didn't want to use WhatsApp, so you could do that. So that's quite nice. So you see the shots given, which is useful. Going back, tee times. So this is where it'll show you tee times you've got booked in the future, as you can see there. And you can also book them, hit the terms and conditions, and then you get the saying like tee time booking sheet. You scroll down until you find a tee time you want, which will say select. You hit select and you put the number of players in, and you book the tee time, and off you go. Add the names. So that's as simple as that is. But Clubhouse balance. As I said earlier, this is useful if you wanted to see if a transaction has gone through. It'll also show you what it is, and you can also, which is very useful, see exactly what you've ordered. So if something's missing from the order, you can see where the mistake was made. Top up, you can go in and you can top up your account by those numbers, and all you need is, you will see in the next screen, is a credit card or a debit card to be able to do that. Latest news, not really used at the moment, so we'll just skip straight over into the course status. So course status is, have a look, it'll just give you a bit of weather. It'll also tell you what the course status is if you didn't see the notification and you just wanted to look in the morning before going out to play. That's it, folks. That's a brief overview. We'll dive into how to do a scorecard, a competition scorecard, and various other bits as we go through this, but thank you very much. Speak to you soon. Bye.